Rover is strong versus Jumpbots. But what if our prime Rover specialist is the Jumpbot player? It is Stuart 98, Rover main with Jumpbots versus hedkeaf in the blue with Rovers. So it is a question of, is hedkeaf's Rover strong enough? I guess, because yeah, Stuart over here knows all about the intricacies of that factory. And yet, they're getting harassed by a single dot, disrupting the pathing of their engineer commander. Engineer but green. A classic. And look at the dot go. Able to outspeed the pyro. Making a dash for it. Can't really engage over here, because Constable does have a little bit of damage as well. So could quite easily kill the dot. It is not one shot, I believe. No, it's two shot right now, because it's 15 damage. That's it. Still, pyro, expensive unit, 220 cost. Being distracted quite a lot by just a single dot. How much does that really matter? Not a whole lot, but already hedkeaf is ahead in eco. Not by a ton, but hey, 2 eco, 2 metal, early on is quite a lot. Also, neither player really going for it, but these fields, 300 metal, 900 energy, and the sides 200 and 600, so quite a lot of reclaim on the field. Definitely very nice to have early on. And I believe last time we were on Z, I believe that was with Rixie and Das Capital. They were both taking advantage of that all the time, until like pretty much all of it was gone. Because if you look now, total metal produced under 2000. So yeah, getting a burst of like 300 early on is going to be very, very nice. Puppy, just being annoying, sitting in the corner. But yeah, Scorcher is going to clean it up nicely. Alright. Pyro over here is moving in. Slow on the hill. Yet it's a lot better than for Rovers, who can't pass on the sides at all. They can't even go down these like shallow slopes. Nope. They have to traverse the Z itself. Meaning that it's quite easy to just outflank a Rover player on the map, or like on this map. So you're going to have to keep a couple of units there, or you're going to have to put quite a couple of base defenses there in order to defend those positions. And of course, it's hedkeaf, so base defenses are the middle name. Not that I really hate those. Once again, Puppy gets cleaned up. For now, Stuart only 80% attrition. That's not a whole lot, Stuart. Once again, couple of things getting cleaned up. Pyro walking forwards, walking through the crystals, and it does in fact burn the fencer to a crisp. 2 pyros still alive, jumping back, both of them. And these crystals also like not sure completely, but yeah, a little bit of a pathing disruption, a natural wall for the Rovers. Not as much for the bots do. Those can just barely like get through. There. So yeah, natural wall makes it difficult for hedkeaf to really engage with the Lotus. Commander moving forwards, though it is a bit not in the best position ever. I mean, it's facing off against triple fencer, outranging it by quite a lot, outspeeding it as well. Dots moving in, not really shooting at the commander. I don't know what hedkeaf was planning there. Doesn't make sense to me at all. And look at it. Oh, storage spamming Stuart. But hey, it makes sense because both of them are accessing or about to access. Only 1 caretaker at the home base for Stuart. 0 caretakers at the home base for hedkeaf, only with the single mason there. And with commander running back, yeah, they were indeed accessing at least a little bit. Lotus cleaned up. Max cleaned up. Don't know what Stuart is planning, but you definitely can't hold on to this position. But still, making the enemy fencers shoot at a solar panel, definitely very nice. Sadly enough, yeah, fences, they don't have the hold fire against like low value targets or whatever it's called. They don't have that, so they're just going to shoot at a closed down solar panel all day long. So yeah, Commander was able to hold on there for quite a lot longer. Firewalker, nice counter to Fencer. Fencer has to stop the fire. It's outranged by Firewalker as well. So yeah, Pyros, I don't really know why the Pyros decided to move in there this second. I feel like just cleaning that up with your Firewalker could have done just as well with better attrition, because now it's just an even KD, with hedkeaf being the one to actually start reclaiming it immediately. Doesn't really make sense. Not to me at least. hedkeaf, 45 versus the 27 eco from Stuart. Yet still, yep, accessing a lot. Doesn't have the energy to really spend all of that metal, and is already with a full bar. Once again, moving forward with the Pyros, losing one maybe, especially if you just sit in the fire. It's quite likely that you actually lose it, though it's going to be close. And well, there it goes. Right. Stuart, there was no need to lose that, but I guess you are normally a Rover player, not really used to playing Jumpbots. Over here, single Pyro is moving in, but against loaders it can't really do much, especially because it's already damaged by those others. Next Pyro moving in, out of range from the Commander, so we'll clean it up. Clean up the metal extractor that is. And a couple of Pyros moving in to clean up the dominatrix. Doesn't really give you anything back, because you already destroyed the partially completed Stinger. But hey, that doesn't really matter much. Stuart's attrition has fallen back a whole lot. Has gone down, yeah it has. Engineer Commander over here for hedkeaf. Still holding the position, is going to be reclaiming. Eco advantage still for them. But maybe something like this. A sneaky raid around the sides, where the Rovers can't handle it at all. Maybe that can put Stuart back into this fight. Because by now, yeah, they are definitely, well, behind. 1,000 metal produced. But look at that! Oh, hedkeaf, you're supposed to be pro! Yes, 1500 excess. All of a sudden, yeah, the better eco for hedkeaf does not translate into actually investing more metal. Pyros over here, not really focused on the loaders, so do get cleaned up, all of them, while only taking down one max. Could have been handled a lot better, but hey, that requires micro and attention, and Stuart didn't seem to have that. I wonder if for now it would just be, well, not for now, but like, it would be better for just hedkeaf to switch into a different factory. Something to just sneaky around the sides. I feel like that could just help them quite a lot. In the middle, yeah, they're struggling against the Firewalker, which is definitely the correct choice from Stuart. That's why you would like your Ravages there. But you're kinda just holding on over here. Yeah. Meanwhile, the artillery from Stuart just raining down fire on you. Yeah, either go for your own artillery to try and snipe that, though Badger isn't great as artillery, because I think it is outranged by Firewalker even. Let's see, a range of 750 versus a range of like 900? Yeah, 900 range. So you would need to go Impaler, and Impaler can't hit moving targets. In other words, yeah, you're kind of struggling there. Can't really deal with Firewalker all that easily, unless you just tank the damage and move forwards. And move forwards is not this. hedkeaf is going for a little bit of a geothermal generator, a little bit of efficient energy income. Soon they will not be accessing anymore, you would hope. Triple caretaker in the home base with the factory as well, of course. But yeah, shouldn't be accessing at all. Really shouldn't. And yet their bar stays full. Commander is burned to a crisp. But does it also go down? Well, if it is staying inside of the fire, it might, but no. 1300 HP. That's not going to happen. It's a level 3 with upgraded HP, so yeah. Not going down there. I was like, well, normally Engineer Commander does go down there, but nope. Because it is 5100 HP, 15 regen. So a lot more than usual. But yeah, over here, no defenses there. I feel like if, like, on this side there is a little bit of defense, but yeah, going around the sides doesn't even need to take a lot from hedkeaf, would just be very nice for them. Still, somehow Stuart has less than 100% attrition. Probably just because they're wasting quite a couple of pyros. But no, for now hedkeaf just trying to hold the middle, trying to push the middle. Building a wall against the firewalker, which doesn't really work all that well. But hey, good enough, I guess. Or they just don't feel like it's worth investing anymore. But yeah, a factory switch might just be what they need. Maybe Badger, sit behind the wall, hit the firewalker like that. The issue is just, yeah, your fencer, it's squishy, sits still, and is way outranged by firewalker. Though firewalker, you shouldn't be hitting your own stinger. And there comes Impaler. Impaler against the stinger? That is expensive. Impaler on its own, 700 metal. Advantage is that you can like set it over here or way back there and still hit all of this. But Impaler? That's a factory switch just on its own. I get that by now, with the Sparrow here. Stuart would have been able to see the factory switch coming, would have been able to prepare a couple of defenses. But I don't think that that Impaler is going to make cost at all. Once again, Commander burning to a crisp. But it once again stays alive. Yeah, I don't really know how, but hey, that's what you get with a high regen, high HP Engineer Commander, I guess. It does hurt, but it doesn't really care. Afterburn doesn't deal that much damage. So if you're Stuart, well, you might still consider just going around the sides. Maybe even just, like, I don't know, sneaking your way down there. Because that is somewhere that the hedkeaf doesn't really have a lot of defenses. The other option, Juggernaut. Definitely an option. Works quite well against Fencer, though I would say that against Fencer you already have a pretty good counter. So I don't know if you really need it, but it might just be good to just jump on top of that commander. And deal a little bit more damage like that. Because Pyro doesn't deal that much. Pyro is a little bit annoying. And it's, well, you can't really switch into an assault, not easily. Yes, you've got Jack available, of course. Yeah, but yeah, Jack is slow. It's super slow. Walking a Jack down this ramp, though, could definitely just kill that factory on its own. But yeah, I don't know if I'm fully on board with the whole let's go Juggernaut right now, especially because it doesn't have any support. It's already halfway dead. Jump is off cooldown still. Engineer, 1500 HP. I'm pretty sure jump is only 1000. You've got your jump again. I guess use it, but nope. There it goes already. Stuart, you're wasting units. And quite a lot of it as well. He's getting up a nice little overdrive grid. Doesn't have a geothermal, like hedkeaf does. But hey, even with wind generators, each one of these is 0.5 wind each. At least on the wind floor. So it's already pretty efficient. And like 1.5 average energy. So yeah, pretty good efficiency there. linking them up like that. With his hedkeaf, yeah, with the geothermal, but only a couple of solars, is still not amazing in terms of their overdrive efficiency. This is technically more efficient, though at 34% wind, it's not a whole lot of overdrive. It's still more than what hedkeaf has. Nice little swift to deal with the Sparrow. Though of course that is not what they want the airplane factory for. The airplane plant probably Raven against Firewalker, or maybe Phoenix, though Phoenix is a little bit worse against Jumpbots than other bot factories, just because the Pyro ignores afterburn. Not ground burn, not the direct fire, the direct hit from each of those bombs. But Pyro does ignore the afterburn itself, which is like an additional 220 damage or so on Phoenix. Yeah, a little bit less. Like 170, 160. Over here, well, there it is, Jack. As said before, it is slow, but hey, Fencer, sit still, doesn't move. And if it does move, it doesn't damage you. So Jack is able to move forwards. Still 4000 HP left. Not enough to 1v1 that commander. I don't believe so, especially not with all of the support from hedkeaf still available. And Jack, please jump away. Thank you very much. I was like, jump or move, but don't just sit there. And the other Jack on the other side, also moving forwards. Stuart, are you alright? I don't know. Anyways, factory switch, finally. This time around it is from Stuart into Jumpbots for the bulkhead printer. And also for, well, not really, at least not yet. Not for lobbed scallops, which is of course also very, very dangerous. Lobbing scallops all around. Always very nice. But not going to happen. Jack does just barely survive here. Panzer is probably just too late. Jack, don't be moving forward, you're going to die. Oh, it's a shame. It's a damn shame. Though you still take the fencer with you? Yes, you do. In which case you might actually survive this. I don't know how, but you're holding on at 55 HP? And like 99% capture? Okay, thank you for the quickscope bulkhead. Nice little flick there from you, just to clean it up. I'm surprised that Jack just managed to survive that long. Had no right to do that. But yeah, I feel like this match is a bit weird because I feel like Stuart could just move along the sides. Either just pincer the main army with a couple of units, or move around the sides and like move into the enemy base. But for now they're just holding the middle. It's finally cleaning up the commander. I was like, oh no, it's going to survive once again, but no, it just barely doesn't. But yeah, WTF, it finally goes down. Yeah, Stuart just pressuring the middle. I guess it's working. I mean, they're climbing with their attrition a little bit. Eco is also on point by now. The geothermal from hedkeaf is upgrading, whereas Stuart is just building this now. So hedkeaf's economy will be better soon, TM. But yeah, for now, it's not better. And it does take quite a while before that investment pays off. It's 1000 metal to upgrade it. Yeah, I don't know if they have that much cash lying around while still being able to hold the middle. Because the middle has 8000 reclaim. That's a ton of reclaim. Compared to their total values currently, almost a doubling of your current value if you manage to clean it all up and invest it into army. Especially because army value, yeah, it's more than double both of their army values right now. Still, Ravagers, tanking a lot of damage, finally able to move through a little bit. Just a single pyro, you can clean that up, spread out, make sure the fire doesn't deal too much damage. And at least for now, you're finally going to be cleaning up that Firewalker. There it goes. Metal extractor cleaned up as well. But yeah, masons, those are definitely reclaiming. No, you killed him. He had a family. He did indeed. I mean, he was old enough to have a family. Was built in like the 7th minute, probably. Not sure exactly. Quite early on. And by now, 20 minutes in, it is finally cleaned up. It just seemed inevitable that, yeah, I mean, it's only 17% done. I would even just say cancel it. Right? I'm pretty sure if you like stop a geothermal, it actually cancels the upgrade as well. It's not going to pay for itself. You're not going to survive that long. Stuart, great overdrive. And hedkeaf just building an owl. Owl right now? That's 340 cost. While you have like nothing on the field. That airplane factory, it could have worked. It could have. But then it would have had to hit the enemy base. Clean up the production. Like, kill all of the caretakers. Kill quite a couple of the wind generators. That would have been an option. Though I still don't think it would have been game winning. But yeah, what you were doing now does not really work. Also, you don't have any vision on all of this. So that's also not really helping. And dominatrix. Well, what you're facing off against now, dominatrix works quite well. Gets one scallop, gets a pyro. And with 5 dominatrix, they capture units quite quickly. Ducks coming in. Do they even clean up one? Yes, they do. But I guess you do capture like 4 or 5 ducks. Is that enough to swing the match around? I don't think so. 60 eco versus 30. hedkeaf, I'm afraid that it's just too little too late. There comes the main army, the raiding force from Stuart. I don't know why they're not going through here. That seems way more vulnerable. Because base defenses, they've got 1 urchin and 1 lotus. That's it. What does 1 urchin and 1 lotus do against like 8 pyros? Nothing. And they're streaming in units 1 by 1. You can just clean up the entire base over here. Clean up the base, hit the geothermal. hedkeaf just truly doesn't have anything. Still, doesn't really matter what Stuart does. They're cleaning it up now anyways. And they are sure to win this match. GG is called, finally. A little bit too late for my liking, but hey. To me, the factory switch from hedkeaf was too late and underutilized, but also that excess of almost 2000 definitely hurt them quite a lot as well.